Hello, and welcome back to my place, Dr. Jackie, where we talk about dissociative identity disorder, aka multiple personality disorder. Tonight, I'd like to talk about the things that I had to go through when I first discovered, when I was first diagnosed with DID. And the first thing was understanding that I didn't want any of this. I didn't want to have to deal with the things that were happening shortly after my first um, alter appeared. Alter being the altered personalities within me. And as more within the first few weeks after I got my first diagnosis, there was more personalities that showed up. And it made it very interesting for working with them and trying to communicate in sharing time in therapy and learning about one another. So, first of all, when I had all the personalities is a system that it's a unit. So I called it the rainbow system because there was so many personalities and it was so very colorful most of the time. And so within the person within the system, the alters as they come forth have their own identities, their own life, basically, that was created to protect. Um, the thing about that is during childhood, when you're going through the abuse, the protection is very important that we create the personalities. However, as an adult, those characteristics can become harmful in our adult life. That's why a lot of people aren't even diagnosed until later in life, because the memories are kind of protected and they don't come forth. So within my system, each personality, as they came forth, we would learn about them. And we did that by writing, we did that by talking to them in therapy. And it was just like kind of taking a piece of me and learning about it, taking it in, and then another personality, learning about their personality, what they did, and taking it, owning it, basically, I could say, owning their pain and um, their struggle, because each one of them had their own pain, if that makes sense. Each one of them took on a part of me to protect me. And we had one that was very negative, remind me like Eeyore. Oh, nothing's going right today. It's going to rain. She was always very negative and she couldn't see the positive in anything. So part of her process was learning how to be in a situation and accept it and know that it's not as bad as she thought. She's one of the ones that um, did a lot of the taking of pills more than she should have because just life just seemed too hard. And so there's a lot of things that within the personalities that we had to adjust and accept. And it's part of accepting yourself. And even if you don't have DID, we have to learn to accept ourselves. And sometimes there are things that we do that we really don't like a lot, but we still have to understand and accept who we are. And we have to love ourselves through this process. And sometimes that's really hard because there's a lot of times I wasn't loving myself very much. But I know that it's important to understand each part of you, each part of me that appeared. Um, I had the hardest time with my twin. Um, she was so totally different from me. She was very positive and energetic and wanted to do things. And unfortunately, she was also the one that was the sexual person. And I had a really hard time with her. And she had a hard time with me because she felt that I was not, oh, I guess I was not out there enough. And so we, as twins, we actually had a lot of a lot of fighting, which we did a lot in our writing, back and forth to help to understand what we were going through. But this kind of bantering back and forth, this kind of learning about one another, um, is sometimes kind of a fun process, and other times it's a really hard process. But it's one that has to happen in order to do the integration. Because as long as there's pieces out there that you don't understand what they're there for, why were they created, and what do they do to help you in your daily life. And one of the big things that my system always complained about me is that I didn't want to know about more. I fought when I knew there was another altar that was getting ready to come forth or present itself. I fought it. I didn't want it to happen because I just felt so overwhelmed. But once the personality came out and we were able to talk to them and hear what they had to say and hear what their pain, what they went through, the memories that they went through. Some of the memories at one point is where you can just hear the memory that someone shares, and other times the memories came forth as aberrations. Now, an aberration is basically you're in the memory and you're feeling it right now. You're feeling like you're right there, and that is really hard. And you have to work through that to recognize, no, you're here today. This is present time. That was past time. But you still have to work through what happened, because if you don't, you cannot have a complete healing process. I just hope that everybody that's listening to this has an opportunity to really learn about themselves and become better people because they're integrating. Because sometimes this is really crazy making. It was very much for me. Some days I just thought I was just out of it. I was loopy. Um, I used to complain about myself being um, crazy, basically, just crazy, because it is a crazy making disorder. But I hope that with some of these things that I share about how the process and things that we need to do to love ourselves through all of this will be helpful to you. Um, and as I said before, communication is one of the biggest issues in helping to accept the alters, the altered personalities that you have within you. And if you don't have DID, the different parts of you that you like, you don't like, that you understand and begin to learn about them too. So I just wish you all the best, and look forward to talking to you again. And again, thank you for subscribing to my channel, and look forward to sharing more information with you. Remember, don't let abuse define you. Let it refine you and become a better person as you go through this. Take care, and until next time, bye-bye.